Wake up, boys. Look. Just give me 2 seconds. Look. Stand up, look. I did not build arms like these, right? I did not build arms like these at 18 or a physique like this at 18 through the bad habit of skipping exercises. I used to have this really bad habit, and most people look at me in the gym now and think, no, you were always really good at it and all this sort of stuff. And no, I actually used to have a really bad habit of skipping workouts in the gym. It was horrible, it was awful. I would always skip like forearms, etc., and my physique wouldn't look whole as a result. And I want to tell you the things that I did to be able to fix this solution for me and how to fix the solution for you as well if you're one of those people who does that. So I want to talk about the most commonly neglected muscle groups first, and then go into solutions as to why. The most commonly neglected muscle groups outside of legs, because we all know you're pussies, is forearms, traps, glutes and calves. And I think the reason for these things is because they're really small muscle groups, so people don't care about them as much. People will think, oh yeah, they won't make that much of a difference to my physique. They always put them at the end of the workout, and then when it comes to the end of the workout, they're tired and fatigued, etc. And the mindset always is, oh, the really small muscle groups, it won't make that much of a difference, surely. And I used to use this excuse all of the time. All of the time, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll skip it for today, and surely today doesn't make much of a difference, and then today turns into tomorrow skipping it, turns into the day after skipping it, and then it becomes a massive habit. And when you don't train a muscle group for years, no matter how small the muscle group is, you're gonna look worse as a result. I can't believe I had to explain this and like come to a conclusion myself like a few years ago. This should just be a given. Like, if you don't train a muscle group, no matter how small it is, your physique is going to be worse. And when you practice this habit of skipping exercises, then it allows you to skip workouts more often. Then it allows you to just do so many bad things because you're letting yourself skip the smaller muscles. It compounds, and I guarantee your physique will just be worse as a result if you let this habit continue. So why not nip this habit in the bud, start training all the muscle groups, no matter how small or large they are, very consistently. And then I guarantee you'll have such a better physique, because not only are you training these muscles, but that positive feedback loop of training the small muscles, even when you're not really fussed, even when it's really boring, is then going to be like, right, I'm going to be more consistent in my fitness journey as a whole. All these skills translate over. So being able to do it with the small muscle groups, meaning you'll be able to not skip legs, meaning you'll not be able to skip workouts, and you'll just be consistent on your fitness journey as a whole. So you can look at it at face value as, right, if I stop skipping these small muscle groups, I'll look better. Or you can look at the bigger picture and be like, yeah, that's true, but then also I'll be so much more consistent because I'll be practicing the habit of being consistent. So it's like a double bubble kind of effect when it comes to stop neglecting smaller muscle groups. And I want to give you a quick analogy before we move on. It's like making a cake without butter. If you were to see the end result of that cake, you wouldn't then think, oh yeah, it's because it's got no butter in it. You'd just be like, oh, it looks like a shit cake, you know? And it's the same with the physique. You wouldn't look at a physique and you'd be like, oh, something's missing. It's probably the calves. You wouldn't think that, but that is the reason why. These small muscle groups make your physique look whole, make it look complete with the glutes. Here is a physique with really big glutes and a decent like set of glutes, and then here's a physique with none. You can tell that the physique with the glutes, male or female, just looks so much more complete than the one with none. And it just gives you that stature, that physique, that frame that's so desirable and so aesthetic. So before you turn around and be like, training traps isn't aesthetic, training them at least a little bit, I guarantee will make you look so much more aesthetic. You'll have a bigger frame. You'll just have a better stature overall. Mr. Olympia's train traps, so why don't you? That's the question that I always give. Now, there are 3 reasons why you skip any muscle group, no matter how big or small they are. This could be from the neglected muscles that we talked about, or this could be legs, or this could be chest, or whatever the reason is. And it's because you hate the exercise, it's because you have a lack of time, or it's because you have a lack of energy at the end of your workouts. And then we're going to break every single one of them down right now. The first one, you find the exercise is boring, you hate the exercise, and that's true. When you find an exercise boring, when you find it unenjoyable, it takes so much more friction, so much more motivation to then go and do that exercise, especially at the end of your workouts. And when it takes so much more effort, so much more motivation, so much more friction, as I call it, to do that exercise, you're less likely to do it. So when there's an exercise that you really hate, maybe it's leg extensions for some of you, maybe it's squats, whatever the exercise may be, When you hate that exercise, it takes so much more mental bandwidth to go and do it. You see this, right? You find yourself negotiating with yourself a lot more whether you should do the workout when it's a leg day compared to when it's a chest day. You love that day when it's a chest day, you love all the exercises, so it's not a question in your mind whether you should do it or not because you really enjoy it. But on a leg day, when you're half dislike the exercises, it's like, oh, I don't really want to go. And that only occurs on the days where you don't like the exercises. So pick exercises that you like. And there's a huge wave of like being the most optimal person ever in this like science-based field of lifting. Like, I'm all for optimizing your workouts, but not when it sacrifices your enjoyment and actually your consistency as well. I always say this, the most optimal workout routine is the one that you find most enjoyable and the one that you can be the most consistent at. It is that simple. So if you walk up and you hate squats, don't do them. Do a leg extension, do a hack squat, do a Bulgarian split squat, do something else that's going to target the same muscle that you actually enjoy, because I guarantee it's the workout exercise that you actually enjoy that's going to make you consistent and continue to do it and then actually allow your legs to grow, whatever muscle group you want to train. You're not going to be good at your muscle isn't going to grow when you're not doing the exercise. So you might as well at least pick an exercise that you're going to do, because some growth is better than none. You know? So make sure that you stop picking shit, boring exercises. You pick fun exercises. That's how you're going to be consistent. That's how you're going to stop skipping them. Most people skip legs because they hate the feeling of it. They hate the burn. They hate the exercise. Then change it. I really love doing squats, and I found this out recently, and that's why I've been really consistent on legs, because I've been so excited to get my weight on my squat up, so then I do legs so that it translates to the strength of my squat. About a year and a half ago, I despised legs. I skipped at least one leg session a week, and I did it twice a week, so I was skipping 50% of my leg workouts, and that was because I was doing exercises like Bulgarian split squats, which I absolutely hate. And then when I walk in the gym, I wonder, why am I not doing legs, or why have I not gone to my leg session today? It's because I'm always arguing with myself whether I want to go or not, because I hate the workout. Whereas now I love the workout and that argument doesn't even enter my mind. I just go because I want to go. So pick exercises you enjoy. That's the first reason why people skip exercises. The second reason why people skip exercises is because they have not enough time. Most people think that when they have an hour workout, let's say their workout takes them an hour and a half, let's say an hour and a half, decent size, they dedicate an hour and a half of their day to that workout. Whereas me, I suggest that you dedicate an extra half an hour on top of how long your workout routine takes. So for me, my workout routine takes an hour and a half, so I'll dedicate around 2 hours and 15 minutes to that workout, because I'm taking into consideration how long it takes to get there, sign in, get changed, get back, pose in the session after, weigh myself, do a little bit of cardio. Maybe an exercise takes longer than I thought it would have. Maybe that one's not free, so I have to do this one. I have to do it in a different order, so I have to wait a little bit longer. All these different things I take into consideration, and then I'm never rushing around in my workouts. Because I found when I used to rush around in my workouts when I didn't have enough time, when I had to be back for a football session back a couple of years ago, when I used to train football, when I had to be back because I had to be asleep at a certain time, I would just skip exercises that I didn't enjoy. I literally scroll through my workout routine on my workout app. It's called Heavy, by the way, Hevy. I suggest this in my course, first link in the description. But I'd scroll through my workout app, right? And I'd sit there and I'd be like, right, I don't like to do this exercise, so I'll just take it and we just won't do it because I'm not out of time anyway. And most of the time I wouldn't be even out of time. I would be like, oh, I might make it, I might not. And I just use the cope of, oh, I'm out of time, so I'll skip this exercise. So make sure you dedicate enough time to your workout session. So if your workout session takes about an hour and a half, dedicate 2 hours and 15 minutes. Add on about half an hour, 45 minutes on top of how long your workout routine already takes, and dedicate that amount of time, allocate that enough amount of time in your day to that session uninterrupted. And I guarantee you'll never find yourself running out of time or anything like that, or in a rush. You can take your rest breaks calmly, you can push without having to rush, and you can stop skipping exercises. And the third reason people skip exercise is low energy. People always shove their shit exercises that they hate, the small ones like the forearms, the traps, the calves, the glutes, they shove the exercise that they dislike right at the back, and then when they come to that point, they're really tired and they're like, oh, I'm tired, I probably can't really be bothered. And it's so much easier to just go home when you're tired. Again, we need to talk about friction. When you're tired, exercises seem so much more difficult to do. Decisions seem so much more difficult to make because of your fatigue, right? And that fatigue causes so much friction between you and the decision that you need to make progress, that eventually that half the time you just won't do it. And also, when you shove your really, really bad exercises or ones that you dislike at the back, you've got more time before that to then like bargain with yourself whether you should skip it or not. Put it off, put it off, put it off. You see this with when you go to the gym. When you say you go to the gym at, let's say, 12 o'clock in the middle of the day, then you have your like lunch and it's 1 p.m. Then you're like, all right, I have to do this task, so I'll go after this task. And it's 3 p.m. and it's like, all right, I have to have another meal now, so I'll go at 5 p.m. Then 5 p.m. comes around, you've got football training, so you come back and it's like, oh, I'll go in the evening now. And then you haven't gone because you're really tired. Because you've pushed it back later and later and later, you've gave yourself more time to bargain and more time to put it off and keep procrastinating it and keep procrastinating it and keep pushing it back. And that's the same with the exercises. When you're like, all right, I'll do it at the end because I hate it. Then it comes to the end and you've bargained with yourself already through the session that you're not going to do it because you're really tired. Then you just won't fucking do it. So I suggest that if you have an exercise that is your least favorite, put it at the very, very start or as early on in the session as you can to not ruin gains. Because with me, I wouldn't put Bulgarian split squats at the start because I do squats and squats is a heavy compound. So put it as early in the session as you can so you just get it out of the way, get it out of the way, get it out of the way. And then you've also got enough energy to push and push and push and get the most out of the exercise that you dislike the most. And then I guarantee if you put an exercise that you really, really enjoy at the end, you're never going to skip it. If I put bench press at the end of my chest session, I never leave early because I absolutely love bench press and I'm keen to do it. So I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't leave early. I just put it at the end. So if you find that your low energy is causing you to skip exercises, put the ones that you dislike at the start and put the ones that you really, really do like and you'd never skip. You find that I guarantee there's a couple exercises that you never skip. For me, it's bench press. For me, it's incline press. I really enjoy those two pressing movements. I never skip bicep curls. I never skip tricep overhead extensions or tricep pushdowns. They're usually things that you can lift a lot of weight in because your ego's attached to them, so you want to show everyone that you're lifting loads of weight. So think about what exercises you lift tons of weight on as well. Put them at the start of your workout. Put them at the end of your workout and then put the ones that you find less enjoyable, Bulgarian split squats, regular squats, leg extensions, whatever it is, at the start. And I guarantee you'll never have low enough energy to do your workouts because at the end you'll be doing ones you really enjoy anyway and they feel so much easier and you can put so much more energy into the ones that you hate and build your physique up as a whole. So I guarantee structuring your workout in that way where you put the least enjoyable at the start and the most enjoyable at the end will benefit you loads and help you stop skipping exercises. Those are the 3 reasons that I skipped exercises for years in my fitness journey, and I finally stopped. I've been the most consistent in my gym journey, like in fucking ever, literally ever. I joined a gym on the 5th of October and my monthly visits for October was 42. I want you to let that sink in. 26 days, I went to the gym 42 times. This is the most consistent I've ever been on my fitness journey, the best my physique has ever looked. And I'm super, super happy. I'm retaining abs at like 14% body fat on a bulk. I feel super strong. I feel super healthy. All my lifts are going up at a decent rate. I'm super, super happy with where I'm at in my fitness journey, the best I've ever been. And that's because I'm not skipping exercise anymore. And that's the exact reasons today why I did it and why I don't do it anymore. So I hope that you can learn the lessons that I have and actually be super consistent on your fitness journey as well. Now, first thing in the description is my paid product. I talked about this before briefly about the app. We give you workout routines, all the advice that you need that I've meticulously designed and thought about my own fitness journey, every mistake that I've made and how I've overcome it to teach to you so you can make progress so much faster than me. It's literally half the price of Ultimate Edition of FIFA. So if you want to spend the year playing with your little hero pack or whatever you want, or you can spend half the price and actually build the physique of your dreams. And then the second link in the description is my Instagram. I've got my DMs open, so if you want any advice, personal advice, you got any questions that you ask me, any questions that I haven't covered in this video today, I feel free to shoot me a message over there and I guarantee I'll help you with it as best as I possibly can. And that also will allow you to give me some trust as well, trust in me that my advice does work, because I'm just truly giving you my perspective of what's worked for me, and I promise and I give it with my full intention that it'll work for you as well. You know? I'm just trying my best to help you boys because I want to see you grow. I want to see you have a better physique. Without further ado, boys, enjoy your session and I will see you later.